you know, so-called, you know, what do you call himself, like a warrior, this and that. Listen, the guy was trying to cheat his way through the fight. Basically, he comes up here saying all this and that. Listen, he's got all that matters is that I'm the new champion. I don't really care for what he has to say.
He was backing off the whole fight. He never hardly ever came.
He come to steal the fight.
That's exactly what he.
He come to steal the fight. You know, he come to steal the fight. Okay, I got caught with a shot in the first round. One punch doesn't win the fight, like I said. Flash knockdown, give him the first round. After that, I tried to force the fight. He fought a good fight for an old man. But at the end of the day, listen, what can I say, man?
Getting off the floor away from home, what were the most important qualities you displayed in the ring there tonight, Joe?
Myself, well, hard. You know, like I said, you know, I've got the skill and so on. But to be a great champion, you also have to have balls, man, and heart. And I need that tonight because at the end of the day, you know, in a foreign country against someone like Hopkins with dirty tactics, I had to keep my calm and composure because I didn't want to upset the referee because he was doing a lot of stuff. I didn't want to retaliate just in case I had points taken off, especially with the so-called low blows that weren't low blows. So I could see what he was doing at. So I just had to keep my patience.
Your first fight in Vegas, but you had an abundance of fans here. You must have thought you were at home in Cardiff. How much of a boost did they give you?
Oh, of course, tremendous boost. You know, especially later on in the fight, I kept trying to force the pace, and listening to the crowd and seeing the flags, you know, was amazing. I'm just thankful for everybody coming out.
You paid public tribute to your dad. How important was he, not just in the victory tonight, but how instrumental has he been throughout your career?
Oh, well, I owe everything to him to be boxing in the first place, from when I started boxing, for supporting me right through my childhood in boxing and straight through. So, you know, at the end of the day, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I am, full stop.
And finally, what's next for you, Joe?
What's next is a good holiday. Good, chill out, relax, enjoy my win, and then obviously come back and we'll see what happens next. But another super fight.
Congratulations. Thanks for your time.
Thanks very much. Thanks very much.
Joe,
Joe, hold on 1 second.
You can have a mark on him, but you don't look too bad yourself.
No, listen, all these marks on my face are marks from heads. You know, he headbutted me quite a few times, and this is where the mark is on my nose. To be honest, he didn't got a mark. He's marked it before he went in the ring.
Can we just
I don't know what he's keeping on about. Obviously, you know, you don't expect to be a gracious loser. He's still bitter about the Jermaine Taylor defeat. At the end of the day, push comes to shove, you know, a win is not decided by one punch. He's talking about one flash knockdown. Okay, I got caught. That's not what wins fights. At the end of the day, the computer box says I landed over 100 more punches. I was busier. He was trying to cheat. He was holding on every time I was in the inside. He was headbutting me, hitting after the break, doing things that I didn't want to retaliate to because I didn't want to risk getting disqualified, you know, being away. I'm in a different country with an American referee, and hey, at the end of the day, I pulled it out. What can I say, man?
Early on though, when you got hit with the straight shots, how did you think you'd be able to change that?
Yeah, but of course, you know, I've always shown in the past I can adapt. I just went in there cold. Well, you know, just got caught cold. What can I say? It was a flash knockdown. As soon as I went down, I got straight back up. I was completely fine. I just had to regroup and just keep fighting through it. You know, I'm happy with. I knew it was going to be an exciting fight as far as you know, styles. I knew he was awkward, very clever the way he goes back, and he was cheating. At the end of the day, he was holding on every time on the inside. He was hitting after the break. He headbutted me. Every mark on me is from my headbutt, and basically the so-called low blows. What's he talking about? You know, if you want to fight, fight. You know what I mean? He still about 6 minutes rest. I was willing to fight, and I was frustrated, but yeah, I expected that fighting in a different country, you know.
How did you avoid getting frustrated like that? Since that it looked like physically, you know, you just looked like a stronger guy in there physically when you're on top of each other.
Who's that now?
Bernard. I mean, when it was physical, when push comes to shove,
yeah,
you know, the mugging.
Yeah, well, basically, like I said, you know, I tried to free my hands, but inside he was holding the one arm on the blind side of the ref, and me hitting with the other one, sticking his head in my face and doing all sorts. I expected that. Do you know what I mean? But I knew I had to keep my composure, keep my calm, you know, because if I started retaliating, I figured that maybe I'd have points taken off.
Did you think that Cortez should have at one point told him that he had to engage, or did you think that it was refereed well?
It's difficult to say. I've not watched the tape. I felt it was refereed okay, to be honest. You know, maybe
for the second low blow, he told him he had to fight.
Yeah. It's, you know, at the end of the day, I think Joe Cortez is a great referee. You know what I mean?
He's a clever fighter. He's you know, he knows all the tricks of the trade. I mean, you only got to look at the marks on Joe's forehead. They are not from punches. You don't get marks like that. That's pure heads.
I knew that you know, Hopkins had the style I didn't really like. Very defensive. I knew that fighting him in his home country at his weight, he would hold on and try and steal the fight. And basically, he came to steal the fight. Okay, he caught me a good shot in the first round, but after I felt I was trying to force the fight. which I don't really like to do. And he was, very clever, just trying to hold on the inside. He just tried to steal a fight, survive. And then after 10 rounds, he was knackered. He was tired, so he was just trying to survive. He was, like I said, 5 minutes off for a low. It was no low blow. There was no punch. Look at the tape.
What have you thought? One last thing from me, Joe. You're now the Ring Magazine champion at 175 and 168. What does that mean to you?
No, I'm very proud. Being an independent magazine. No politics involved. I am. This is great to be acknowledged as the number one in at the 2 weights. So yeah, of course I'm proud of that, and probably take a little while to sink in. I'm going holidays now. Come back and sit down and see where we go from there.
What do you think of Roy? Roy Jones is here, such a big name, was number 1 pound for pound. What do you think of Roy Jones in the future?
Yeah, well, Roy Jones, he's also a legend, isn't he? We're going to call me the legend killer. Just done one, do another one, let's send the whole packet, man. What are you doing?
Listen, you're a bit of a legend yourself.
You know what? Yeah, but obviously Roy has been a tremendous ambassador for the sport, but and he can still fight. Obviously, coming from the 2 defeats, I've watched his last few fights, and he's still got that speed there, and he's still got a bit of magic there. But like I said, I'm just going to go on holidays now and just chill out, come back and see what the options are.
He says he's happy to come to Wales or to Wembley in November. Would that be an option, do you think, guys?
Thank you, buddy.
Wait till he comes back. Once he comes back, Joe.
Once he comes back, we'll wait and see.
At the moment, it's his moment and it's his
Joe,
time.
it must have felt like a home fight with all those fans and everything.
Oh yeah, what can I say? I'll thank every single one of them that bought a ticket and flown all the way. So I'm just really pleased and happy that I managed to get the win.
Were you a tad tight in the first round and a half or 2 rounds?
Possibly, yeah, possibly. Maybe I was trying to. I knew he had a decent right hand. He's very defensive. I knew I should have took my time. Yeah, and at the end of the day.
What was going through your mind? You saw the knockdown minute into the fight.
I just thought when he got caught, he got caught cold. Simple as that. And but Joe's got a good chin. Son of a champion is getting up, and he got up. And got his, got through the round.
The fact that you lived this before with Byron Mitchell, did that give you a little comfort?
I'd have preferred him not to go down, but he did go down. But at the end of the day, it was a fantastic performance, and it wasn't a 1 round fight; it was a 12 round fight.
Cold. Computer box doesn't lie. It was the busy. I tried to make the fight. He was holding on. He was dirty. I think the referee could see that. I mean, the judges could see that. And basically, he cheated. He had 5 minutes.